Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a few things to my budget-friendly 300 Blackout build that I did a while ago. We're going to answer a few questions and change this gun up a little bit, so let's jump into it. So I put this gun together, I don't know, 4 years ago or so, as kind of a budget-friendly build using narrow precision lower receiver, Palmetto State Armory, 300 Blackout upper receiver. Got some accessories and stuff on here. I won't go into the full details of that. If you want to see the other videos I did on this gun, I'll have a playlist down below that you guys can go check out and watch those if you'd like to. But this gun has been rock solid for me since I built it. I haven't had any issues with it. There are a few things I want to change up on this and a few questions that I want to answer for you guys that I get all the time in the comments. First question, can the muzzle device come off so you can run a suppressor? Yes, the muzzle device can come off. You guys can see how much space there is between that blast shield and the handguard. So there's not much space there, but yes, the muzzle device does come off of there. And then second is, can you run a suppressor on it? Technically, yes, you can take that muzzle device off and run a suppressor if it will fit underneath the handguard. Like I just showed you, there's not much space between the handguard and this small muzzle device. Here's a suppressor for comparison. You can see how much bigger that is. So that's a normal rifle size suppressor will not fit underneath this handguard to be able to run it. This upper is a 7.5-inch barrel with a 9-inch handguard, and that's how they designed it. And they have that muzzle device tucked underneath the handguard for that look that everybody likes. So we're going to change this up a little bit so that we can run a suppressor. Before we jump over to the bench and get into that, one of the things that I don't like about this gun is with this light. I do not like the cable system that this light came with. The light's been awesome, the switch has been awesome, but I hate this coiled up wire that they got. I wish that was just a flat wire that I could train how I want it instead of having that big coil of wire underneath there. Like I said, the light's been awesome. It's very bright, very easy to use. I might have to look into seeing if they have a different switch for that, change that up, or swap the light to something else. I also wanted to mention with all my videos, I will have a build list over at my website. That'll be the first link in the description, or you can follow the QR code. I don't sell anything over there other than channel merchandise, but it will have more information about all the stuff we talk about, all the stuff that I used on this build, because there's a lot of questions about that stuff too. So follow that link, you can go over there, check that stuff out. It'll have all the information you need on anything that I used on this. With that out of the way, let's jump over to the bench. I'll show you what I got for this. I'll get it all swapped out and we'll hit the range. So first up, I got a new handguard for this. This is a Midwest Industries Suppressor Series handguard. This one is 9¼ inches, so it's about 1/4 inch longer than the handguard that came on this. But it's made to have that tucked look with a suppressor. So this is made out of 6061 aluminum. It has a black anodizing on it, comes with a barrel nut wrench, and a small piece of Picatinny that you can install anywhere. Has a full-length Picatinny rail on the top, 7-sided M-lock on there so you can run any accessories that you want. And like I said, this is made for use with suppressors. The inside diameter of this is 1.67 inches. The outside is 2 inches, so it is a little bit thicker. You will feel that in your hands, but I think this is going to be awesome because it'll still give me that tucked look with the suppressor, and it's a very solid unit. One nice thing about the Midwest Industries stuff is it has a lifetime warranty as well, so if you ever had an issue with it, it is covered under that lifetime warranty. It's made in the USA, and it also does have the T markings on it if that's something you're into. So that's the first thing that we're going to be doing. Second, we're going to swap out that muzzle device for one of these Kaw Valley Precision ASR muzzle brakes. Now, the reason I'm running ASR is because that's kind of how I have all my suppressors set up. So I figured I'd try out these Kaw Valley Precision ones. They are a little bit cheaper than the Silencer Co. branded ones. So that's what we'll be running for a muzzle device. I also got a Kaw Valley Precision blast shield that's compatible with ASR. So if I take this out shooting and I'm not running the suppressor, I'll still have that blast shield to tuck underneath that handguard. So I'm not shooting and directing all that energy from the muzzle brake right into the inside of that handguard. I'll have that blast shield on there when I'm not running a suppressor. Then the suppressor I'm going to be running on this is an Anechoic titanium suppressor. I have another one of these and it has been awesome so far, but This is their 30 caliber long version. It's made out of titanium. Like I mentioned, it is a 308 caliber. It comes with this flow-through cap installed on it. And then it also comes with a quiet cap that you can swap out if you are going to run this on a bolt gun or something like that. It comes with all the tools you're going to need. It has this large Torx bit that you can put in the end and swap that out for the quiet cap. It is also hub compatible, so you can take off that direct thread adapter and put whatever hub you want on it. And like I said, I will be running that ASR style Bravo hub on this, so it'll work with all my guns. I can swap it from rifle to rifle and have a QD attachment instead of the direct thread attachment. This suppressor is 100% serviceable, and what that means is you can fully take it apart to clean everything. Here's what that baffle stack looks like. You got the blast chamber that is 17.4 stainless, and then the titanium baffles from there on up. But it is nice that you can pull the whole thing apart to clean everything. User serviceable. Then it's got your other wrenches that you'll need for any maintenance or installation needs that you have. A few more things on the suppressor. It is full auto rated, reduces sound by up to 42 decibels. It is 8.1 inches long, 1.6 inches in diameter. With the direct thread mount, it only weighs 11 ounces, so it's very lightweight. And like I said, it's made out of titanium, and it's got that 17.4 stainless blast chamber coated with Cerakote. You can either get it in black, FDE, olive drab, or a raw titanium finish. You can also get different caps for it if you want. If you wanted to run this 30 caliber suppressor on a 223 and wanted a 223 specific cap, you could buy those. They also have different direct thread adapters. Like I mentioned, I'm going to use the hub system, so that doesn't really apply to me, but these are really nice suppressors. They also offer a lifetime warranty, so I'm really excited to get this out and try it. But I'm gonna get this bench cleaned up, get pulling this apart, and then we'll hit the range. I will have to take off all these accessories. I don't think I'll be able to get this rail off with all these M-LOK accessories on here. So let's get going. All right, I got this all broken down. I had to pull that gas block off so that I could get the barrel nut off, because I will have to run the barrel nut that is included with the new handguard so that it works properly. I did have to swap it over to the vise to get that off, get that muzzle device off. I'm just gonna use some rubbing alcohol that I have, clean up the threads for this barrel nut, use some anti-seize on there, and then I'll also clean up the threads on the barrel itself and in the suppressor. Make sure I get all the oil and grease and everything like that off of there, and then I'll use some anti-seize on it. All right, so we got that barrel nut on there. I did torque it down off camera. Got the muzzle device on there, the gas block back on. The gas tube does go right through the top of that barrel nut. I don't know if you can see that or not. There's some holes in there. You got to index that right. That goes right through that. And this handguard just slips on. It does have some indexing points, kind of anti-rotation points, to keep that lined up with your top rail. And you can see how that is very tucked underneath the front of that handguard. we got her all put back together. That's how that turned out. You can see that suppressor tucks up underneath that handguard nice and tight. One downside is you can't activate that locking ring that's on these ASR Bravo mounts, which is kind of just a secondary lock anyway. It's got the taper on it that keeps it locked in place. You can see how that works. It's just kind of a locking ring that locks it down on some teeth that's on the muzzle device. But even this blast shield doesn't even have that, so I'm not too worried about that. It is a taper mount, so that's just a secondary locking device, but that looks really good on there. And here's how that looks with that blast shield from Kaw Valley Precision. Again, tucks nice underneath that handguard. There's plenty of room under there. You definitely can feel a difference in your hand with that bigger handguard, but it's not too bad, so I'm not too worried about it. But with this all back together, we're gonna hit the range, go see how this does. Make sure I got that gas block back on there right, everything functions. And we're gonna test out this Anechoic 30L suppressor on there, see how that sounds. I may even try a couple suppressors, we'll have to see once we get there. But let's hit the range. All right, so there you go. That's how this thing performed. It ran really well. I'm loving that suppressor. I did try it with this Anechoic suppressor and with my CMMG suppressor. I do think it was a little quieter with the Anechoic. Both ran phenomenal. It's kind of hard to pick up how quiet these cans are on camera when I'm shooting at steel. I need to be a little more aware of that in the future, I think, because going through editing it, hearing it hit that steel, you can't really tell how quiet the cans are. One thing I will definitely be changing is this light. I can't find a different pressure switch for it that doesn't have this curly Q cable, and that was driving me nuts when I was shooting. Just seemed like it was getting in the way, so I may swap this light out for something else and put this on something where the cable's not right where my hand needs to go. Then I did have 2 light primer strikes. I had a couple that didn't go off. As you can see, a couple light primer strikes on these. This is with that Winchester Super Sub ammo, so that seems to me like an ammo issue. Also, when running the suppressor, it seemed like I might need a little bit heavier buffer. It wasn't quite throwing the bolt carrier group back home all the way. It seemed kind of light, and there was a couple times I had to re-rack it to make sure it went all the way forward. So I may look into that, mess around with the buffer and spring combo a little bit. It wasn't too bad. It just didn't slam it home like I like it to do. But all in all, it ran good. Let my wife shoot it, my little girl shoot it. They both love this gun. I'm really liking the handguard. It didn't feel too big in the hand or anything like that.
That's what she said.
It felt right at home. And then that blast shield worked out perfectly as well when I ran that. But this gun just keeps impressing me every time I take it out. It's been really reliable. With the supers, it was a little bit gassier than with the subs, which is to be expected, but it's run really good for me. And the only complaints I have about it are the ones I just told you. And those are easily fixed. If I didn't mention it earlier, I will have a build list. That'll be the first link in the description, or you can follow the QR code. I'll have more information about the stuff I used on this build. So if you guys want to go check that out, I don't sell anything over there other than hats and t-shirts, Mr. YouTube Reviewer. Merchandise is the only thing I sell, so if you guys want to pick up a hat or a t-shirt, that'll be over there as well. But let me know what you guys think about this build in the comments below. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll check you guys on the next one.